Everything you're doing to feel better at work is actually making it worse. Most people never get this diagnosed correctly. And because they don't, they spend years trying to fix themselves for a problem that was never theirs to fix. You know, the Sunday night feeling, that dread that shows up at about 8 or 9 p.m., the tightness in your chest, the voice that says, I can't do this anymore, and then you still do it anyways? What if that feeling isn't a you problem, but it's instead data that you need to analyze? I was you. 20 years in corporate, 15 of those at Microsoft, a senior role, good money, 3 kids at home, and everything looked like it was amazing. But internally, I was running on fumes. Every quarter, it got a little worse than last. Every night, a little harder to come back from. And I kept doing what high performers do. I tried to fix myself. Better sleep, better mornings, maybe a better mindset. Aimed the solution right back at me for years, thinking that I was the problem. And then one day, I collapsed on a flight. Blacked out entirely, fell on my 9-year-old daughter, and I was held up by my seatbelt on the seat. As I came to, she held my head up as I was leaning over onto her. After that moment, I went 3 months trying to fix myself again. And then one day I just got up and said, I'm done. I called up my boss and said, hey, it's over, I'm done. I had some savings. I didn't leave on bad terms, but I walked away from unvested stocks, the golden handcuffs as we call them. I've been wearing those for years. I just left everything right there. That's still not the way I'd recommend doing it. There's actually a smarter and a better sequence around all of this, which I cover in the next video. I've actually worked with hundreds of corporate professionals. They're good at their jobs, but still not where they want to be or should be. And what I've watched happen over and over is people trying to fix themselves for a problem that isn't really theirs. You've probably Googled, am I burnt out or burnout symptoms at some point? Maybe done a assessment or read some articles around this stuff. Burnout is the wrong diagnosis for this. And chasing the wrong diagnosis is exactly why people stay stuck. There are 5 actual signs that tell you with actual clarity whether the job is the actual source of what you're carrying. Because if you've been trying to fix yourself for something that the job created, no amount of self-work is going to actually touch it. Okay, so let's go into the signs. Sign number 1, you're doing your job well, but it's still killing you anyways. Manager has no complaints, your output is solid, but you're exhausted in a way that you just can't explain. You know, it might be headaches, you're getting sick more, you're just not having the time with your loved ones and the relationships, and sleep doesn't fix your recovery the way it did 5 years ago. So when your performance stays high, but your health is declining, it's the job that's the variable, not you. An elite athlete can still perform in a bad environment. They can still run, they can still win, but if the field is covered in broken glass, they're bleeding throughout the whole race. That's not a talent problem, that's a terrain problem. How long have you been actually running in that field? Think about that. Sign number 2 is going to reframe something you've probably been blaming yourself for already. It's not the work you dread, it's specific people. If I asked you to do the exact same job that you're doing, the same function, the same industry, the same skill sets, but somewhere else, around other individuals, would you actually feel differently? If your manager changed tomorrow, would this feel like a different job? Most people I ask don't even hesitate because the problem isn't the work, it's the environment around the work. The manager who takes credit for things, the politics you have to navigate just to get your job done, the culture that rewards performance but punishes honesty and integrity. There are 2 problems here, and most people are treating the wrong one. Career misalignment, that's when you're in the wrong field entirely. That's a much longer road and problem to solve. Real reinvention. And the other one's culture misalignment. That's when you're in the right field, but the wrong place. So different team, different manager, different organization. That's a much shorter path. Most people I work with think that they have a career problem. That's not true. They actually have a culture problem, and they're actually paying for it with the years that they'll never get back. Okay, next is sign 3. This is where things get uncomfortable because it's things that you've already tried. You've tried more than once, in fact, and nothing moves the needle on it. It's not because you gave up or anything. It's because you genuinely tried all the things to fix yourself. Therapy, exercise, setting boundaries, taking time off. How many of those have you actually done? Count them. And yet, despite all of that, Monday still feels the same. You've done all the analysis and you can't figure out what it is. Well, it's the one thing that you haven't counted yet, which is the job itself. You weren't failing to fix yourself. You were pointing the solution at the wrong problem. You're trying to make this job work for you, and so you're trying everything around it, but it's not giving you the result that you want. And inside, it's actually hurting. And the reason it's so hard to see is because the system is designed to do just that. Think about it. The annual raises and the bonuses, right? The stock vesting that happens, the title they keep showing you that is just within reach. and they're saying be loyal and just work hard and you'll get it, it's actually a cage with a very comfortable seat in there. You can't therapy your way out of a cage. You can't exercise your way out of a cage. And here's what makes it even harder to ignore than it was 5 years ago. The roles you're protecting, all the things that you're doing, I'm seeing them get automated in the organizations I work with. Senior roles that took 20 years to build, restructured, consolidated, and gone. Just like that. Not because of performance, but because the org's mandate shifted. Just like that. And nobody told them and nobody told you. And all of a sudden, here's the HR meeting and people are gone. You now need an exit strategy. You need an exit plan to protect yourself. Organizations are protecting themselves. So the question is, you either build it on your terms while you can, or be forced to do it and have one handed to you. Okay, and the next sign, sign 4, is one that most people recognize, but they've never said out loud to themselves. And that's the vacation reset. For exactly as long as the vacation lasts, everything's fine. Day 1, you can breathe again. You feel great. By day 3, you're back to your normal self that you used to know and your family used to recognize. And up until the last day of the vacation, you're laughing, you're having fun. But until that last day, at that point, you resent everything. You resent going back. That's not post-vacation blues. That's actual a stress response. Your nervous system doing its job telling you that this place isn't safe. Something's not right. Think about the last vacation you took. Look at the pictures. Look at the videos that you recorded. Who were you during that? Were you a totally different person? Or were you the same person that shows up at work the same way? I'm sure you can see the difference. And so don't tell yourself it's normal. It's an actual response that your body's giving you. And the next one, sign number 5, is actually physical. And a lot of people have already had it happen to them. Your body has already made a decision, you just haven't caught up to it yet. So think about insomnia that gets worse, not better, right? Chest tightness, right? Doctors say you're fine. Weight shifting in ways that you can't explain. Everything that you're doing is supposed to be correct, but still something's not balancing out. And you're just not feeling like you anymore. Something's changed, something has shifted. I remember talking to my wife and saying, I'm not the same TJ anymore. And she's like, no, you're fine. There's something else that's going on. And so those are the things that you have to start tapping into and looking at and saying, is my body giving me a signal that I continue to ignore? I personally ignored every single one of them for months, probably even longer. And corporate taught me that you just got to keep pushing through. This is what everyone does. My body had been keeping score the entire time. I just wasn't understanding it or reading it correctly. You already know how that ended up for me. So don't wait that long. So 5 signs: performing well, but falling apart, dreading the people and not the work. You've tried everything to fix yourself and nothing still moves the needle. And then vacations work, but going back is something you absolutely dread. And then your body is already telling you. How many of these are actually true for you? Because here's what I've seen over and over. The number isn't really the point. The moment you recognize it, that's the point. There's a shift that happens. You stop asking, what's wrong with me? And start asking, what is this place doing to me? That's not a small thing. Because I'm guessing you've been carrying 2 thoughts for a while now. I'm good at what I do, so why do I feel stuck? This paycheck protects my family, and it also controls who you are. Both of these are true. And that's not confusion. That's an actual tension that you're living in. You're not burned out from work. You're burned out from the actual dependence. So that's a different problem. And there's a different solution for that. And the move for someone in your position isn't a dramatic exit like I did. It's actually building something alongside your job while the income is coming in, while you have a paycheck that's coming in. That's how you protect your family and stop being controlled by the organization or the corporation. Let me give you an example in this. Mary, who's 75, she lost her husband, her pension got cut in half, she lost the home because of that, and then needed to earn revenue really quickly. With a strategy that was outlined for her while she was still doing the regular things, she got her first client in 3 to 4 weeks. And then there was Patrick, mid-40s, 5 years he was unemployed, primarily because of anxiety and depression. He was denied long-term disability and then had a 5-year employment gap on his resume. He came to me and said, TJ, I need help. No one's hiring me because of the gap. We helped him build his business. And through that, within months, because of his depression, because of his anxiety, it was a little bit more difficult for him to get into. But within months, he had clients and he's back on his feet again. And then we've got Sarah, again, mid-40s, 20 plus years at one of the biggest consulting firms out there. Still employed, not ready to leave yet, but she got 38 leads in her 3rd week of building alongside the job. None of them were ready. all of them started anyways. So what I'm asking you is, if this job, if these signs hold true that we've kind of talked about, and this job is not the right thing for you, don't get up and leave. You need to build a business or a revenue stream alongside, using the skills and the abilities that you already have so that you can quickly start monetizing. Once you can monetize, then you can actually now have a choice of, do I stay or do I leave? And that is a very powerful situation to be in. And let me give you one more example. This one employee, she was actually 20 plus years at another corporation, Fortune 10, and RTO mandates came in and she refused to go back to the office. So because she had her business, she was prepared to walk. And so she told her employer, she's like, I'm not coming back to the office. They weren't prepared. So instead, they complied with her RTO request. On top of that, she actually demanded that she wants to work part-time. They agreed to that as well. So she's working part-time, working from home, and earning a 6-figure full-time salary. It's insane. This is the power that you get when you have leverage, when you're not dependent on the employer to say, hey, if they fire me, I have nothing, versus if they fire me, I know what I can do. I still can earn. So what that does is it transforms the leverage in your hands as opposed to theirs. This is absolutely essential. So now you work from a place of control and not desperation. And to understand where you stand in your career, I built a free career risk assessment. It takes less than 2 minutes, tells you exactly where you stand and what your next move should be. The link is in the description. Make sure you check it out. And the next video tells you exactly how to quit your job if that's the stage you're at. Don't forget to check it out.